Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Google Pixel 5 and compare it against the Google Pixel 7a and see which specific phone is a better one for you. Now, I think this is a little different because the Pixel 7a I think is probably the better phone in every single area than the Pixel 5a or the Pixel 5. But it's still a very interesting phone, the Pixel 5 is, because it holds up very, very well still to this day. So if you want to pick up either one of these phones, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there. You can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off side by side, you can definitely tell that there are a few differences here for sure. With the Pixel 5 that came out in 2020, this was a different approach from Google at the time. It was a more budget-tier approach than the Pixel lineup from before, which I think was good. Not quite the A lineup, but still kind of. Actually, these two phones are very similar. I think this was more like a Pixel 5a than it was like a Pixel 5, if that makes any sense. So on the front, you're getting a 6-inch OLED display, 90 Hz, 1080p display as well, and it still actually is a pretty good looking panel. It was a hole punch display the first time we saw that on a Pixel phone. Actually, the 4a we had before, but still a hole punch display, which is nice. We had it in the top left corner, and honestly, still, when I look at the screen, it's not bad. The viewing angles are still pretty decent, and even on the camera, you can probably tell it's a decent display. Now, with the Pixel 7a, on the other hand, I say on the other hand as if it's a bad thing, it's not quite. This is a 6.1-inch display, so it's a little bit bigger. It's also a little bit of a different designed panel. So we are now getting a center hole punch display here over on the Pixel 5, so it was on the top left. You're also getting kind of more like a flatter design. It looks more like a rectangle versus the Pixel 5 that was more rounded, which I actually liked a little bit more. Actually, I kind of like this one. I actually don't know. Thicker bezels, it kind of seems like on the 7a. A little bit of a bigger display, but you're still getting that 90 Hz panel, which is still very nice. So I think this is a very, very good display as well. But I think, I don't know, the Pixel 5's display is honestly pretty decent too. I think the viewing angle's kind of the same. I'm not too sure. Now for the rest of the phone, I think the Pixel 7a is a little bit more of a premium feeling device. I've always felt like with the Pixel 5, the design was weird. Like, I don't know, it didn't feel that nice with the model I had. I don't know if it was like a weird model I had, but this is the generic one that I had. So you can see thinness and thickness. I think the Pixel 7a is a little bit thicker. You're also getting pretty much a smaller phone in every single area on the Pixel 5. That's another thing to keep in mind. Getting USB Type-C port on the bottom of both of these. Neither one of these phones have a headphone jack, so keep that in mind. And on the back of both of them, a little bit of a different layout as well. So the Pixel 7a is built out of aluminum on the sides, but on the back it has a plastic back, but it feels a little bit nicer than a plastic back, but it's a plastic back. With the Pixel 5, this is a aluminum back, but it doesn't feel as nice as aluminum back in my opinion. It feels a little like rubberized in a way. Like it feels like it's like cardboard or something for me. I don't know. I've always felt like that. With the Pixel 5a, you're getting the fingerprint sensor here, which is nice. Dual camera setups on the top left corner, which we'll talk about in a minute. And overall, this is still a very good phone between both. I will say the Pixel 5, I kind of like the way it looks sometimes, but the 7, like I like the way the Pixel 5 looks on the front, but I like how the Pixel 7a looks on the rest of the body. So, not the biggest deal in the world, but something to keep in mind there. You're still maintaining IP certification and everything on both phones too, which is nice. So, in terms of that, that kind of covers it up there. Now, in terms of the, basically the software and the longevity, I will say I think Android 14 is probably going to be the last version of software that the Pixel 5 will get. I'm hoping Google will last these phones a little bit longer, but as of right now, that's kind of where we're at. I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world though, and I think these phones, they're going to get unsupported at some point. But as of right now, it looks like Android 14 that we're on right now for Upside Down Cake is essentially where we're at. Totally fine. I'm still rocking that beta, which is cool. But keep in mind that if you wanted to get a phone that's going to last longer, the Pixel 7a might be the smarter choice for a majority of people. You're going to be getting a phone that's going to be lasting longer on this device than on something like the Pixel 5. So that kind of covers it up there as well. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between both phones. The Pixel 7a has that Google Tensor G2 chipset inside of it with 8 gigabytes of RAM. With the Pixel 5 has that Snapdragon 765G chipset inside of it with 8 gigabytes of RAM as well. So let's go and see which one's the faster one between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are cleared out in the background, so let's get into it. 5 is here, 7a is here. Phone calls 3, 2, 1. Okay, about the same thing. Messages 3, 2, 1. Okay. Play Store 3, 2, 1. So okay, 7a definitely faster here. I did open it up a few times today on the 7a. Again, 90 Hz panels on both. Scrolling through, it kind of seemed like actually no, they're both kind of doing the same thing. They both are glitching a little bit, not a big deal. Camera 3, 2, 1. Okay, perfect. Let's go and open up their photos 3, 2, 1. Okay, for some reason did not want to open on the Pixel 5. Let's open up some of these other applications. Let's do Facebook, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the Pixel 5 was faster there. Snapchat, 3, 2, 1. Okay, about the same thing. Instagram, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Pixel 7a a little bit faster there. Let's go ahead and do Dropbox, 3, 2, 1. Weird that this one is themed on here. Okay, a few different panels, not really too sure which one's faster there. A little bit of a glitch here. Quizlet, 3, 2, 1. 7a was slightly faster. Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm hoping there's no like random pop-ups or anything on this phone, which I think there might be. Now, another thing to keep in mind, okay, so there was another thing to keep in mind. This one had the downloading content panel thing going on for it. So we have to give this one like a bit of leeway. It would not normally have been this big of a difference if I'm being honest. So we'll go ahead and basically skip this out and we'll go and just get into some gameplay. 3, 2, 1. Let's see if there's any glitches. The Pixel 5 kind of glitched up a little bit in the beginning with. And they both kind of were okay after getting into it a little bit of time, so not a massive difference. A little bit of a glitch here for sure. Snake versus blocks, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Pixel 7a is definitely the faster one here. Scrolling through, really you can tell if there's a difference there. Subway Surfers 3, 2, 1. Getting out of an application on the Pixel 5 is very glitchy. Could be an Android 14 issue, not 100% too sure. And you can see even getting into this game, definitely seemed like it was faster on the Pixel 7a. So overall, I would definitely say there's definitely an improvement in speed and stability for the 7a over the Pixel 5, which I think is a super important thing to have. So that is basically that. I would say the 7a is basically the better performing phone in that standpoint. Now, from the camera side of things, both of these phones, like I mentioned before, have a dual camera setup. So you're getting a wide and ultra wide camera between both. Very good stuff. I love having ultra wide cameras and I love having that type of capability between both. And that in and of itself is a really awesome thing. You can do 4K at 60 on the back of both of them. You can do 4K on the front of the Pixel 7a. You can do 1080p on the front of the Pixel 5. So it's kind of nice that you do have, I guess 1080p on the front, but 4K is always nicer if you have that type of capability. Now with something like the Pixel 5, I would say very, very good camera. This thing has a very solid sensor. Has a very solid layout for sure. You're getting 0.6x zoom and you're getting 7x zoom. So remember that. Now with this thing, you're getting portrait mode, night sight. You're getting some other modes as well, video. You're getting modes. Now this thing is very nice. It's a good camera. Is it perfect? No, but this is again a 2020 phone. It's 3 years old now. It's basically in line with something that's supposed to be comparable to an iPhone 12 camera as far as I can tell. And I will say it did a decent job. Definitely not the perfect phone of all time, but I think Google did a good job and it gets a thumbs up for me for the Pixel 5. The 7a I think is a better camera. So this is where things are starting to see like bigger differences from the Pixel 5 to the Pixel 7a. There is a noticeable change here. So one, you're getting 0.5x zoom, so you're able to zoom out more, but you're also getting 8x zoom. So you're able to zoom in more here as well, which is pretty cool. You're getting portrait video, long exposure, you're getting camera mode and other standard modes as well. So this is a really nice thing to have. And with a phone like this, you're actually able to go ahead and have basically better camera. Like you're able to get better videos and photos on this phone over the Pixel 5, which is nice. So to kind of sum it up, what I'll tell you is I think the 7a is definitely probably the better phone in pretty much every single area. You're going to be getting better battery life, probably better performance, better cameras, basically better everything. This phone's going to be the better phone. The Pixel 5, though, is a really good phone, though, for the price. You can probably buy this phone for less than $200 now. So I think this thing has depreciated a lot, and it's probably worth buying in some ways. And it's still supported with Android, which is nice. But again, like I wouldn't recommend buying a brand new Pixel 7a either. I would recommend buying a used Pixel 7. That seems like to be the better deal, since that is cheaper than this one. So that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.